Man, it feels like fear right now is at an all-time high. I mean, everywhere you look, it's uncertainty, right? You're looking at the tariffs and the trade wars. You could be looking at the markets, the economy, the crypto markets. I mean, even just stepping onto a plane is coming with new uncertainties now. So it's just a lot of fear, and I'm feeling it. I sense it. But let me let y'all in on the truth, and that is uncertainty will remain constant. It's the ones who learn to deal with these rocky waters that are going to thrive on the other side of uncertainty. What's happening, y'all? It's Top Shelf Cole. And today, man, I want to have a conversation about some of these newfound fears, some of these new uncertainties in the economy and in the market, and how we can learn to deal with it, because the fears and the uncertainty actually present opportunity for those who remain calm. So y'all tap in right here. Y'all make sure to subscribe to the Top Shelf so we can continue this conversation and other conversations. I got the next episode 3 of Free Minded Friday coming up this Friday. So y'all make sure to go ahead and subscribe to the channel just to lock that in. So the first thing I want to talk about is understanding the uncertainty, right? The brain craves stability. It craves a safe environment and control. And so when we feel out of control, when things are unpredictable, then we're uncomfortable. And the thing about being uncomfortable and being in a fear or that mindset, it drives the anxiety, is we can make mistakes now. Now we're vulnerable to make mistakes. We're not thinking clearly. We're not really thinking on what may be our best interest, but just a short-term safe move, or what we think may be safe, but really we're just acting out of fear, because that's the way the brain works. And so really there's kind of 3 categories I want to talk about when it comes to dealing with this uncertainty. The first was going to be the markets and the economy. And then you're going to also have personal uncertainty as far as your job stability. And then lastly, you're going to have global events, right? These tariffs, the wars, bombings, plane crashings, and things of that nature. So the first step in navigating these rocky waters and uncertainty is going to be focusing on the controllables. I mean, you can't control the price of Bitcoin. You can't control the price of Nvidia or the price of the S&P 500. But what you can control is your strategy. What is your investment strategy? Are you sticking to it? Do you have the proper barriers in place when it comes to entries and exits, right? So that's what I want you all to focusing on. Also, look up dollar cost averaging. I talk about this in the Top Shelf investment strategy, but basically you want to have consistency, so you're getting the averages of this volatile market, and you're not just dumping into the market at one price, because if you dump in at one price, that can go lower. That company, that whatever you're buying, that asset could drop further in value. And now you've just dumped all your resources in at one price when you could have had a better entry price. And it's very difficult to buy the dip. That's what you're going to hear. Buy the dip here, buy the dip. Okay, well, what is the bottom? And so only real seasoned investors are going to be able to use strategies, trends, indicators to find the bottom. And so my advice to you is to get your strategy, dollar cost averaging. Now, the second part to this, again, is the job market, right? You can't control layoffs. If your company's downsizing, the company you work with is scaling down, you cannot control that. But what you can control is your value that you bring to the team. So what you need to be looking at is either one, improving on a skill that you already have and use in your job role, and improving that skill to where you're undeniable in it. Or is going to be more of a horizontal outlook, and that is saying, hey, if I were to develop a new skill, what skill do I not have in my current toolkit that if I were to have that, man, I know they couldn't let me go. I know they couldn't let me go if I were able to execute on X, Y, or Z. Then you would add more, you bring more value to your team. So that's the second thing, is look at what skills you currently have, how you can improve on the ones you use, and how you can add additional skills to your toolkit when companies are downsizing. And then the last tip right here, right, is gonna sound a little silly maybe, but when it comes to these wars, these tariffs, all these headlining articles and clickbait articles will really just be to limit how much of that you consume, right? If you watch 6 p.m. news, then watch the 6 p.m. news. If you wake up in the morning and you like to get your news in the morning, then get your morning news. But what you don't want to be doing is consuming all these headlines, all these news articles, because you don't really read the articles, you just read the headlines. You don't want to be doing that all day long. That fear mongering is starting to get to you. It's weighing on your conscience. It's starting to weigh on your mind. It's distracting you from where you really need to be focused. And that's locking in on this work. That's locking in on this strategy, right? That's providing for whoever the heck you providing for. So I really want us to change our mindset from thinking we got to scroll all day to really getting the news that we need, right? Finding your trusted news sources and then getting back to work. Now, here's the real kicker. I hope y'all stayed around the video to catch this. Fear brings opportunity for those who stay calm, right? When the markets go down, now you can buy at a better price than if the markets go up. I heard a quote, man, it was the funniest thing. I thought it was funny. It's been sticking with me for the last month. They said the worst thing that can happen is that Bitcoin goes up to 1 million. The worst thing that happen, Bitcoin goes up. Now, the best thing that can happen is Bitcoin goes back down to 70K. Because and that's for us, right? My generation or younger, right? Anyone in between the 20s to 30s, mid 30s, right? If Bitcoin goes back down, or the market, this is just an example, right? If it goes down, we have a chance to better position. We have a chance to fortify our position at a lower cost. That's opportunity that we may not have if everything shoots all the way up. So we really want to be prepared for these kind of opportunities, and we want to have a strategy in place to not act out of emotion, but to act out of strategy, to act out of principle, right? But my point here is that that this uncertainty really creates opportunity for those who are paying attention and those who are prepared. So y'all stay prepared, you stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. Y'all make sure to lock in here at the top shelf. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and like this video as well. Leave a comment. I want to have this conversation with you all. I don't want to just talk to the camera. I want to hear what you guys are going through. What is on your mind right now? What opportunities are you looking at? And what areas of your life are you trying to build that strategy out so you can stay prepared for times of uncertainty like this? It's Top Shelf Cole.